Greetings, folks. Me again. I got a little time to work on this couple of radios. I'm going to try to get a couple done today. But the first one is going to be, let me turn you around here. First one, we're going to continue on the little Pepsi radio. And I've already started on it. Kind of cheated a little bit, but already pulled it out of the, there's 5 capacitors in here. Here's 2 that I've already pulled out. The first one's a 220 at 10 volts. It checked fairly good, I guess. But this is the second one right here. This little 47 at 16 volts. And I've never seen one do this, but if you look right there on the edge, you see some kind of weird, hang on. See a little, looks like the capacitor leaked or something got on it. Not 100% sure, but I've never seen a capacitor get hot in a capacitor tester. But sure enough, I set this my capacitor analyzer for 47 microfarad at 16 volts, and that thing got hot as a firecracker. And the capacitor leakage was like 220 ohms. So capacitor was definitely bad. So anyway, my stock of capacitors is about depleted for these little ones. I just kind of scraping up something that kind of works. It's close, you know. And anyway, running low on that stuff. So anyway, I was just going to change these capacitors out and then show y'all but I've kind of figured out that you guys kind of like, I'm kind of going against the meaning of my channel. So we'll catch this program. Oh, I'm going to push myself out of my chair. Anyway, let's continue on. I just put in this capacitor I just told you about that was extremely leaky. I think what was it, a 47 at 10 volts. 47 microfarad at 10 volts. So we're in the process of changing it. It goes to ground from something. I'm not sure if it's a decoupling cap or what. Alright, so we got this one and this one changed. Now these 3. Now the audio output, which is on this black wire, which is weird. They got the black wire on the audio output and the brown wire on the ground. I would have thought it'd been the other way around, but oh well. Anyway, we got 2 down, 3 to go. In this radio, there are 3 220 microfarad at 10 volts and 2 47 at 16. But I'm going to just continue on. This is the speaker coupling cap. This is the one I'm really interested in. And just remember, the black wire is attached to the capacitor. Remember to hook that back up. Alright. What did I do? Drop the wire? Yep. Don't let me forget to hook it. Anyway. It is a 220 at 10 volts. Let's see what the capacitor analyzer has to say about it. Mr. Capacitor Analyzer, what do you say this morning? How are we doing? Alright, zoom in a little bit. So we're going to set it up for 220 microfarad. And what did I say this was? 10 volts. This is the speaker coupling capacitor, by the way. I'm just really eager to see what it does. More than likely, it'll probably check good. We'll see. Get my finger over here on it. Alright, let's check the capacitor value. Ooh, this capacitor is checking 34 microfarad. Let's check leakage. drawing over 20 milliamps and the resistance is below 500 ohms. So this capacitor is bad. And it's warm too. So I had a feeling I was going to run into that. Sure did. Zoom me back out a little bit. Get in frame here, camera. So, yep, I had a feeling that was going to happen. Remember, the minus side went to the speaker, so I gotta remember to pick that up. Oh, it's floor. Don't quite have the right size capacitors in here, but it'll work because there's plenty of room inside this. I think every one of these radios I've worked on has had bad capacitors, of course. Not very high quality capacitor. Let me get that speaker lead off the floor. I've had all kinds of comments talking about this radio. Yeah, I just couldn't let it die. I guess people have seen me enough on this channel probably knows that. Alright, there's 3 down, 2 to go. So the next is another 220 microfarad, and remember, the minus side is facing the tuning capacitor. Don't let me forget that. Sometimes I get in a hurry and I don't note things mentally. If I do, I forget it. I'm not even going to bother checking it. Just going to stick it in there and move on with this. Probably out of frame, ain't you? Yeah, like usual. My cinematography skills suck. I've had way more coffee than a man needs to ingest. To make matters worse, I also had a half a cup of, or half a glass of orange juice this morning. So I had a lot of acid in me. Alright, finally this 47 at 10. And the minus side is on the switch side of the PC board. So here we go. I must have got the right one. I think we're done removing components. Turn off the soldering iron. I mean the desoldering machine. Something I wish I'd have done is started saving all these old capacitors. That way I'd have a kind of an idea what capacitors to order. But here we go. Let's see. 47. Here it comes. This old radio. Haha. Anyway, this radio ought to take off. Hell, who knows? Even that old speaker that doesn't seem to be too good. I think it's just a cheap speaker, personally. Might actually freaking work. So let me put it back in the chassis, get it all connected back up, and let's see what it does. I'll bring it back. Oop, in frame again. There you are. All right, well, I've got the chassis back, or the PC board back in the, I guess you call it chassis. And I just want to make a note, and I've said this before. Let me get my deluxe pointer here. Well, we'll show you all these coils right here. This coil, anything that you see like that that's got a little bit of foam in it and it's kind of glued down. Anybody that's starting to work on these radios, do not Do not alter this in any way. Do not touch it. I'm not even touching it. Do not touch any of this kind of stuff. This is how they tune these radios. You touch that and it will affect it to the point where you'll never get it back. So that's my PSA for the day right there. Do not touch them. Alright, now we got to do, really all we got to do now is, and I'll put the speaker back in the box there. I guess I shouldn't have. But let's see how we're going to do this. Yes, I glued it back in the other day. I guess I shouldn't have. If I can do this without destroying it. I love me some hot glue. Hot glue is your friend 99% of the time. Unless you get it on you, then it's not so good. Not so hot. I guess it's a joke in there somewhere. Alright, let's get this thing back to the speaker. Apply a little power. So corroded. Just from the rice paddy materials they make this stuff out of, I'm telling you. The speaker measures low and resistant, but I think what happened, that capacitor that fed this was really leaky, and I think power supply voltage got into the speaker and shorted out the voice coil. And that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. Where's it? Yo, where you at? Man, God, again, you out of. That is the worst problem excuse me, that I have. Well, we're gonna see what it'll do. I think I have to worry about polarity. And somebody mentioned I needed to add a length of wire for the FM. Here's the length of wire. It's already in here. It just comes out a little hole in the bottom of the radio right here. But it already had an FM antenna. So, let me get some power to it. Do we want to use battery? Uses 3 UM3s, which is AA, so let me get 3 AA's. It's either going to work, not work, work better, work worse, or no change. Those kind of go together. Here we go. A little microphonic.
That's not match. I don't know about you, but for me, that's not. I'm surprised. No, I'm not surprised. What I am surprised about is that the New York Times Siena poll, which is actually part of that dominant media,
And then turn these lights off in the shop. You know how these lights are. There you go.
The Mystic Timber is a roller coaster at Kings Island Amusement Park. Yes, what do you believe is the greatest threat to democracy? And the answer, by almost 59%. Not quite 66, but
there you go, guys.
it ought to be shocking to them. Is that the mainstream media lies to them.
There you go. So the little Pepsi radio. The little Pepsi radio works. So let me put it back in the case and all that, and
that was the one that contained all of the P tapes. You know, Donald Trump with a bunch of hookers to Moscow, and he had the.
I don't have a color printer, but I'm gonna put it in the case, see what it sounds like in the case, and I'll probably come back to it later on. Put the dial in there. I may do it tomorrow. But I guess in the interest of finishing this video out, just suffice to say, I will replace this medallion, put a fresh new picture, whatever, replace that. Anyway, I think it's gonna work. Let me put this back in the case and I'll bring you back. Alright, I have the Pepsi radio Coke machine installed. Put back together.
Walk this way.
So it typically happens the other way around. How could the genius load this?
There's your FM. There's your FM.
Or had a good weekend.
I'm sorry, your AM.
We're talking about this New York Times CNN poll that shows that 59% of Americans have a strong distrust of the mainstream media. And in fact, such a strong distrust.
Okay. Okay, y'all. I really had my doubts about this thing. It's working. Working about as good as I expect it to. I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to take it back apart and change this medallion out when I get something to print it right with. I don't have nothing right now other than black and white. Just pretend this is all pretty. I might display this on one of my next videos. But anyway, Pepsi Cola works again.
So as far as election integrity and the mainstream media and...
I'm amazed that something with no selectivity hardly works this good. And I know it's some little trickery of circuitry and all that, but I guarantee you won't do no DX with this radio. Anyway, it's ready. It's done. I'm going to try to start on that that little realistic. Try to get the rust off it and get it looking, get it back together. So if I can get it working, that proved to be a real popular video. Yeah, this one's done. On to the next one. Take care. Thank you guys for watching, and hit like and subscribe. All right. Check you cats later. Bye.